We basically have 3 teams within the foundation. So there's the stewardship, communication, and events team, StewCom events, we call it. That's the team I'm on. We are doing anything that is not major gifts or processing major gifts. So those are the 2 other teams. We have a team of major gift officers who are out working with donors and corporations, soliciting gifts and just showing areas of need and where their interests might align, so that they could plug in and support. And then our services team focuses on just gift accounting, receiving recognition. So those are the main 3 teams within the foundation. It's very relationally focused. Of course, events are great for awareness, great for stewardship, and great for fundraising. But it's ultimately, those relationships before and after events, or those interactions you have during events. One way ClickBid supports us is communication leading up to events. That's really helpful so that people are informed if they're new, this is their first time coming, or whether they've been a constant donor and supporter. Just making sure that they're kept informed is a big part of all this. I am an annual giving officer focused on community engagement and events. So I am working, I have, of course, I'm within the StewCom events team, but I have a partner who, she and I are running all of the events, whether that is, our 500 person black tie gala that we have in March of every year, which we do use ClickBid for. In March of every year, we have what we call Remarkable, which is just an annual celebration of gratitude for our healthcare workers. We honor a citizen of the year and a provider of the year who have had a great impact within the health system. So we have a sit-down dinner and formal program. There is a pre-event reception for our sponsors and just some key stakeholders and donors, and then as well as a post-event after party where it's just more for socializing and having fun and celebrating our honorees. So that is a huge lift every year, and I just have seen the impact that ClickBid has had to help us with that, from managing our tables and guest lists at tables. The old way of doing it was we had a contact at a business who might purchase a table, and we're just emailing back and forth with them, and people are dropping, people are being added, people are being swapped. And so it's really a fun event, and it's fun to put together, but it's just, there's a lot of little details, and it matters. All those little things matter. So ClickBid predates me. I've been with the foundation for 1.5 years. And I know that ClickBid was used at least 1 year prior to my arrival. So I think one thing that I've tried to do is just utilize it more. This past Remarkable 2023 was the first year that we used it for our table management for the event, which was just a huge help. And we have used it as well. I've used it as well for another event that we have in December annually, our Tree of Lights event, which also there's table sponsorships and people from the community purchasing tables, inviting guests, ticket sales, silent auction component with that event as well that we've used ClickBid for. So I've used it ever since I've been here, and every year I'm just trying to learn more and more about it. Just knowing that we can segment different groups within ClickBid to communicate out when we have, okay, we want to let leadership know this information. We want to let our high-level donors know this information. We're going to let guests know this information. So just being able to have a tool that helps us with that, but then also some of it is, again, we can kind of set and forget. I cannot tell you enough about the links this year, and I'm probably going to reference it again, but just for the guest management, just to make sure we have some really incredible donors who are supportive of us, and we want to make sure we are doing everything right by them, just because they are so generous and so ingrained and committed to the work that we're doing. So when they have changes, we can't forget that. We can't let that fall through the cracks. And so with ClickBid, in particular for these larger events with tables, that's an example. Like just being able to send them the link, give them instruction, and then a week before the event, just pull their table list and send it to them and just say, hey, we're just confirming that there's been no changes on your part. Is there anything we can do to accommodate any of your guests, in any special way that you'd like us to recognize them throughout the evening, discreetly or otherwise. So it's like one of those one less things for us to have to do back and forth. Here's my guests' names, or this person's replaced this, so what I've said previously. But absolutely recommend ClickBid. I have worked with other similar systems at previous organizations, and I feel very confident in saying that ClickBid is my favorite. I would share that as long as you are willing to just kind of sit down and click and poke around, you can figure it out. You can do it. I know sometimes in nonprofits, I have family friends who are older and not tech savvy at all, and they are kind of adverse to using newer technologies, but there is just such a benefit. And the support from the ClickBid team, I think, is just remarkable. I've never felt like alone. I have even had moments where it's like an emergency on my end, which I know does not mean it's emergency on ClickBid's end, but they've treated it like it is, which is just, the best when you're like, I need to get this figured out right now. So I'd also just, highlight the different ways of reaching not only donors, but community members and potential future key stakeholders, or even with your leadership team. Just between the text to give, the auction, the seating management, the website, the way it could work really well if you have a multifaceted team. I know depending on the size of the nonprofit, it might be 3 people doing everything and they are all in lockstep and know it all, or they might have, for example, we have our 3 teams. And so just having, again, ClickBid be the source of truth for us to all work together well, that's invaluable.